Sorry, a bit late with the recording here. I wanted to make a video holding HPS trades or any trades for that matter. I posted in Discord. Oops, sorry guys, doing too many things. The YM buy at 193, sell at 121. The Nasdaq buy 378, sell 327. Yeah, apparently I already missed a scalp here on the Nasdaq and on the YM, but in any case, this is more of a holding. Here we go. It's not triggered short. This is more of a holding video, so I'm not interested in scalps for this video. I'm really gonna go over everything as far as holding trades go. I'm going to try and target between 40 and 50 points here in oh, this is not good.
Order canceled.
Doing too many things. Just short it here now. So here we are. So I'm going to now put my stop at break even here. And what's going to happen is I'm going to maybe after the trade really talk about it because things happening too fast. There we go. I mean, that was my target right
Order
here.
canceled.
That was my target already on the Nasdaq. You know what? I thought I'd have time to talk about it as the trade happens. But no, this happened too fast. So we're going to just let things come down, and then I'm going to talk about the whole concept of holding trades for bigger targets than just, let's say, 6 or 7 Nasdaq points, or maybe 20 ticks in the YM. But you know what? I'm just doing too many things in the morning. I guess I didn't think it through. Let me do everything I need to do, and then we'll talk about this. All right, so things are coming down a little bit. Now, again, if you remember, the sell trigger was at 327. So these triggers remain valid. It's just that every time they trigger, the probability of success is slightly lower. If they go above 327, what do I mean by above? Well, in the Nasdaq, given the volatility, I would say 10 points. If they can get to, let's say, 337 and then turn around and sell off, I would grab another short at 327. Given the fact that it's not the first time it triggered anymore, I will not necessarily try to go for whatever 30, 40, 50 points. Maybe I'll just go for 20, 25. We'll see though. First, let's see if they'll indeed get up to like the 330s. Like I said, 337 really. At least 10 points I would like to see in the Nasdaq. I'm gonna try. Yeah. So now they got up high enough. At this point, if they sell off, they trigger the 327 again. I'll take another short. Hold it to maybe around 300. Around. We'll see how they behave. You know. The buy, of course, is at 378. So it looks like they might get the 378. Oops.
Order canceled.
All right, let's kind of go here. It's a bit late, but let's try and go here and target around 400. And after all this is over, I promise I will talk about holding trades, possible ideas how to go about doing that. If you want to know where my stop is, the sell is at 327. So that's where my stop is. I realize might be a lot, probably more than any of you would want to risk, and that's okay. Either then look for some kind of pivot to help you out, or just go for a quick scalp, right? Or use smaller size. So you don't have to do a mini. Do 2 micros. You know, if the size is too much, use 2 micros. Here we are approaching 400. I'll be done here. So I thought the short might trigger again. It did not. So you see the importance of not just shorting, right? I did not just short when price arrived at 327 again. I allowed price to get above 327, like 337, and then I placed a sell stop at 327, but it never retraced there. Uh, and so instead it went to the buy side. I bought 378 and I wrote that for 20 points or whatever. So here I am, over 1,000, and it is less than half an hour of trading. All right, so believe it or not, the trade has been reset, right? So the buy again was 378, the sell 327. Price went at least 10 points below 378, and so it's been reset. I will try it again. Just a reminder, I'm sorry if I'm being repetitive, but it's that important. Every time it triggers, the probability of success is slightly lower. Respect that. Just really keep that in mind. Ooh, the 327, completely missed that. See, talking too much and completely missed that. I'm gonna take this short.
Order canceled.
I'm gonna delete this. Um, Way late on this trade, by the way. Again, not the best way of doing it, but just gonna squeeze a little more toward the, I don't know, I guess 300, maybe like here somewhere. So a bit surprised. Well, this happens too fast. So every time I think I'm going to be in a trade while talking about holding trades, just hitting targets too fast here. But I'm not giving up. I'm still. Before this video is over, I will do the spiel. I will cover the holding trades. Worst comes to worst, we'll just look at a chart without any trade. But let's see. All right, so the Nasdaq is reset again. It's almost 12 o'clock. Again, by reset, I simply mean price goes above the sell at 327. If you remember, the sell was at 327. It got above it by 10 points plus, and now I'm just going to wait to see if I can be triggered in. Normally, I wouldn't even do this, but number one, the volatility today is just amazing, terrific volatility. And then I really want to kind of demonstrate the idea of just going beyond the scalp. That's what this video is all about. Now, I think I will actually truly talk about it with some detail after everything is over. I guess I really cannot talk about it and focus on other things. So this short at 327, if it triggers, and the more I look, especially at the 120-minute chart, the more it seems that there is no way for the Nasdaq to escape testing today's sell level, daily sell level, at 140, 21,140. If this was first thing in the morning, I would actually be holding for that. That would be the goal, to try and hold for that sell level at 140. But given the time of the day and the fact that this has been triggered a number of times already, I'm going to try and target. It depends. If they can get through 280, then we can have a very quick slide down to around 200. 280 could prove to be an obstacle, so I'm going to take the short, assuming I'm going to get filled. I'm going to take the short and see how they handle the 280 area. So by the time they get there, I'll already be, like 40 points in the money. But I'm going to see how they handle that 280. And if they start bouncing from there, then for sure I'll just put some kind of trailing stop in. So they are bouncing off this 280. I was a bit afraid of that, but I really want to try and stay in this trade. I'm up nicely. I don't mind, giving some back, but they should retest it again. That 280 is fairly important now. But you see how if you were targeting whatever 20, 30, 40 points, you definitely had it there. I'm just trying to see if they can crack that 280, because then we could have a pretty substantial move. As I said earlier, I don't really see them escaping 140 at this point. So they keep bouncing from the 280, and at this point I'm just going to put a stop here, a trailing stop. If they can't get through this, um, I mean, they could go toward 400. I just really think 140 is coming, but giving the time of day, um, don't want to play with this too much. If this 80 holds, if it's 80 again, can they break it? If not, they will bounce up pretty good, and I no longer want to be short then. But here you are, I mean, over 40 points. Let me drag it down a bit. Over 40 points is available. The volatility is terrific, just awesome today. This is not your average day, not even close. Not even close. Terrific day. If they can break this to 80, wow, they're going to be just slamming down. But holding so far, holding so far. All right, so computer clock, rhythmic clock, the total for today, the account used. By the way, just now, once again, they reset the 327 and now dropping below it. So this one of the highest profits I had with HPS, and that is only possible pretty much because of the volatility we had today. Volatility when it comes to both HPS and even to a lesser extent the midpoint. Um, I need my approach needs volatility. It's okay to have volatility that's slightly below average. Still can do fine with slightly below average. But when things really kind of stop, which is one of the reasons why I don't trade on half days, when there is very low participation and not enough movement, this is when my approach does not do very well. Today we had amazing volatility, and these are the results when volatility is really, really good. Okay, then finally, let's talk about holding trades. So first of all, you are below the trailing threshold in your funded account. You should not be holding trades because that can actually hurt you. Now, if you are with a firm, for example, like Topstep that has end of day drawdown, then it's fine. Then you can definitely try and hold positions. If you are with a different firm, but you are above the trailing threshold, once again, there is no issue. You can try and hold positions. I'm not as concerned about the consistency rule. I know a lot of firms have anywhere from 20 to 40% consistency rule. It's not really an issue because if you learn to hold trades, um, and you like me, for example, I only take payouts once a month. I don't do this. I know now it's like every 5 days, every 8 days, every 10 days. I just simply do it once a month, so it's never an issue because even though this is a pretty healthy day, but the time the month is over, the total is going to be way above it. So I don't have to worry about 20% or 30% or 40%. So if you decided that you want to try and hold positions, and you are in a situation where it is beneficial for you, it cannot hurt you, well, then continue listening. Well, ask yourself, is it something you truly need? Why not just go for quick scalps, quick targets across a number of accounts, and that's it? You can do very well, and you won't have to deal with this holding trade thing, which is something that takes a while to develop. So ask yourself, is it something you really need? More importantly, are you in a position to hold trades. For example, if you are working with a prop firm that has an intraday trailing drawdown, my own journey with holding trades went something like this. So this is now 2025. I've been trading close to 18 years. When I started, I was a losing trader. I was a losing trader the first about 5 or 6 years. Even though I developed the methodology, I have now the daily levels methodology. About 4 years into my trading journey, it looked very similar, not exactly, but very close to the way I have it now. Still, I was a losing trader. Then I got to a place where I was no longer a losing trader, but I was all over the place. I wasn't consistent. I would have huge peak and valleys. Um, I would be really, really profitable for a period of time, and then within a few days, kind of blow all my profits. That was the next step, if you will. Then I got to a place where things got smoother, and I was stuck. I was stuck where no matter what kind of a day it was, if it was an easy trading day, quote easy meaning very directional, not choppy, nice range, I would make $100 to $200. And then on the quote very difficult days, very range bound, very tight, I would still make this. It was the most bizarre thing. No matter what, I would make the same amount in profits every single day, pretty much between 100 and 200. I couldn't understand it. And I got in touch with a good friend of mine who was one of my mentors. And I said, what is going on? How can it be that no matter what, I am profitable the same amount? He proceeded to tell me, well, it's a few things. Number one, you are dealing with fear. So when it comes to a problem of holding trades, it's not greed, right? There was greed and fear. There was no greed here. It is fear. Fear of what? Fear of price turning around and taking away all your profits, which would also then mean that you are wrong. Now that's a bit of a different subject. All I can tell you that ask yourself why it's so much easier to hold on to a losing position. At least with me, it was the case back in the day. I would have no problems holding on to a losing position, but as soon as I got profit, I'm like, oh man, I gotta take that, and so I would grab profits and somehow allow losing trades to just keep on going. I don't want to go into that's a whole different thing, but yeah. So I was told that my inability to hold on to winning trades uh, was fear. This fear was based on lack of confidence and I guess inability to detach yourself from the trade. That's a bit difficult to explain, but basically the way I trade now is I am completely detached from the trade. Even if it's a losing trade, I don't care. I know ultimately what's going to happen. When I say I know, I mean in terms of probability, right? I know what the probability of success is. I'm aware of it, so it doesn't matter to me if I take a losing trade because I know ultimately what the outcome is going to be based on probability. Not saying because I know where price is going to go. I don't know where price is going to go. I just know where price is going to go in terms of probability. So it is a bit easier to start holding trades if that's what you want to do with the midpoint approach, because with the midpoint approach you know where your destination is, right? Above the midpoint your destination is the buy level, below the midpoint your destination is the sell level. If you want to start with that, by the way, do yourself a favor, do it in sim, please do it in sim. uh, when you do it in sim, you are working on a process. You're not concerned with the outcome, right? If you're trading a prop account or God forbid your own money, you are obviously concerned with the outcome. You don't want to lose money, and you're not as focused on the process. To to really perfect the process, you must remove the money aspect out of it. So do it in sim. try to hold on in the case of a midpoint approach to a level that is targeted. Again, below the midpoint, the sell level, above the midpoint, the buy level. With HPS trades, so that's slightly different. If you've been following the HPS trades, for example, the YM, look back, right? You have access to all the high probability setups, channel numbers going back for weeks and weeks and weeks. Look back at the YM, and you will observe that even if volatility is slightly below normal, the YM will still move at least 100 points away from the long or short trigger. It will move 100 points. Take a look. The Nasdaq will move 50 to 100 points at least, even on an average or slightly below average volatility day, it will still move 50 to 100 points away from a trigger. If you want to start the process of being able to hold on to the trade in a sim account, try to hold on to a trade that, for example, triggered short, right? Try to hold on, maybe 50 is a bit. Try to hold on for 25 points, all right? Try to hold on for 25 Nasdaq points once a trade in HPS is triggered. In a YM, try to hold, I don't know, 50 to 75 points. In a YM, try to hold for 50 to 75 points. Maybe start with 50 and then kind of slowly work your way up. In a YM, try to hold on to that. And I'm saying even without any kind of a trailing stops. You are doing it in sim. Start with that. So you are triggered, try to stay in the trade. Where is your stop? The opposing level. The opposing level. So today, for example, what did we have? We had the Nasdaq buy 378, sell 327. I think I'm right. You triggered at 327. You try to target 25, 30 points, whatever. Your stop is at 378, or maybe like 377. Just when you're ready to go long at 378. Right? Try it like that. Now, immediately you're gonna have voices, questions, doubts. Oh, but what are you saying? Isn't it a bit much to risk so much? You are in sim, okay? The only goal you are working on now, the only thing you are working on now, is just the ability to hold a winning trade. Next steps are coming. Yes, you will need to then, once you're trading for real, you might need to adjust the size, maybe micros instead of a mini. Then you will have the idea of trailing your stop, right? Once it's for real, you will need to be trailing your stop, put it break even, slightly better than break even. But that's really later. Right now, you need to train your brain to not have fear. And the only way to get there is to show it, right? Show your brain that it's possible. And not just once or twice. Please don't call me or email me after a week. Well, I've done it for a week. Yes, I was able to hold it 3 or 4 times. What's the next step? No. And do that for a while. Do that to a point. How do you know you did it enough times? When you can do it without hesitation, when you already know what the outcome is going to be. You know you're going to be hitting those targets. It's going to become like muscle memory. You won't even think about it. You just get in and you hold. And something like this takes a long time. You got to do it time after time after time after time. Because you need to be very relaxed when it's for real, right? When it is for real, you have to be very relaxed about it. You cannot be tense. And the only way to get there is to build up the confidence based on experience. You need to experience it. So again, you can use it with a midpoint approach. You can use it with HPS. With a midpoint, it's much easier because you see where your target is. Um, with HPS, it's not so much a target as much as the market's consistent ability, as long as, right, there is at least average or slightly below average volatility, at least that, to for price to move away from the trigger. I mean, today, in a sense, was not a good day. I mean, obviously, ahead of time, I don't know, right? When I started this video, I did not know it's going to be such a great volatility day. It was really easy today. I mean, when you take a look at the trade journal channel where I post the results of these trades, I don't think I ever had a day of 2000. I had a number of days of like 12, 1300. But for the most part, my days are between like 400 and 800. Right? Today was an exceptional volatility, high volatility day, and it made it look simple. On an average day, it is there was a bit more to it, but you just must have a starting point. So if you decide to go for holding trades, if that's what you want to do, I'm telling you right now, it is difficult. And the reason it's difficult because it has very little to do with skills. It's a completely mental game. It's a matter of training your brain to observe a certain reality. And then once that happens, then you're able to detach yourself from the trade. And until that happens, um, I don't know. I think I posted it in a members channel. I said I don't know how to teach, um, like holding a winning trade. I Because for me it's all about, as I said, I don't want to keep repeating myself. For me, it's all about the mental aspect of it. Um, so yeah, so this is it for this video. Thank you for your patience. I was hoping to, because I was thinking it would be a normal volatility day where I can kind of hold on to a trade like 30 or 40 NASDAQ points and just talk to you as I'm holding onto a trade. And today it was just like one after another after another. I'm not complaining, but for the sake of the video, it wasn't ideal. So I had to kind of break it down like this. Well, I hope that helped you. Please leave me a like if it did. Just helps the YouTube algorithm. Any questions, post them in Discord. Again, I will not be able to answer questions that have to do with what kind of ATM should I use, because it's not about ATMs if you're looking to hold on to trades. Thank you very much. See you next time.